Sacred Truth OG here, bringing guys another video. In this video, it's just basically about I'm giving you the rundown on what weed. And how weed is just like very detrimental to a lot of people, even myself on my true life path. And it's still just key points that I wrote down for myself. This ain't nobody words but mine. So I'm telling you what it did to me. Okay. Now I said, what does weed do to me? And I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth on each one, and then we're gonna read articles from Crips Crepsic, the Hooded Sage about the Weefer Revolution. Okay, and then I think we're gonna go to Stewie Wild and show you a little bit what he got, if we got time. But first off, I wanna speak on what does it do? Makes my throat chakra suppress. What do I mean by that? So you will smoke. Before you smoke, you're going to notice that you're going to be very outgoing. You know, you're going to be like talking. You're not going to have no filter, basically. But as soon as you smoke, you go around and from people that you know or you don't know, you're not going to really say much. Your voice is going to kind of change. You're going to be more reserved. You're going to be more to yourself. You're not going to be really expressing how you feel with your throat chakra. It could be a woman or a man, depending on if you're a man or a woman. Let's say you're a woman and a man approaches you, a woman, and you ended up smoking a lot, I guess, or just smoking to the point where you've been smoking the other day, but today is just another day of smoking, and you go to the guy who approaches you, and he says, "Hey, how are you?" You barely say anything, you're quiet. You know, it has a lot to do with that weed. That weed will do that to you. It'll make your throat chakra suppress. If you're in the studio, you want to get some music done, and you just smoked a lot of weed or smoked some weed, sometimes it has a lot to do with your throat chakra being suppressed from the weed. So you got to keep that in mind, because your throat chakra is very important. So you don't want to suppress it. Another key point: it gives me anxiety, period, and not just in public places. It's just the fact that I just noticed it kind of gives you this unfeeling, just because you feel everybody's energy a little too much. A little too much off the gas, I think. I mean, sometimes it numbs you, but sometimes it opens you up to the point where you're like, nah, I'm good. I wish I didn't smoke. You kind of get a little too sensitive, and then you kind of get a little anxiety. Because you're like, man, I be feeling people's shit when you smoke weed. You kind of want to stay away from. Kind of get you a little paranoid. Because like, why am I getting all that shit? Why? Because your aura's open and you smoke weed from that shit, you know? I mean, your aura's open because of the weed, but you probably get anxiety because you feel everybody's energy. You know, you feel the energy a little bit better. Because I know for me, when I smoke, I can feel better. Which ain't really good because it kind of gets me a little too amped up. It's an extreme feeling, you know? And I really can't remember my dreams off the gas. Just being honest. I can't remember my dreams. Period. Hard to remember your dreams unless it was a very important dream, but like smoking weed, you're not going to really remember your dreams. You're going to be very hard to remember your dreams off weed. Like, trust me, you're not going to know. And I feel like it's a waste. Like, I want to go get downloads of my dreams. So you telling me if you smoke, you're not going to get none? Yes. You probably already know this. But when you smoke, you're not going to have any dreams. Barely. You're not going to remember them at all. You're not. Another key point. Makes me irritated easily. Which is true. I'm very irritable off the gas. You would think you would be if you don't have it, but I'm that type of dude. If I smoke it, I'm not an asshole, but I'm really not taking your shit. Like, bro, you better get the fuck up out of here with that shit. Type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you feel me? Like, I'm not gritty with it, but I'm like, bro, I'm not taking nobody's shit. I mean, nobody's shit off the gas. Like, I'm in my own zone. I don't like being fucked with. When I'm off the gas, it literally puts me in a bubble. It puts me in a bubble, and I don't really like going out that bubble when I smoke. You know what I'm saying? I just like maintaining the bubble, almost say shit to nobody. I mean, that's kind of how I am anyway. I stick to myself. But sometimes I do feel the inclination to speak to some people. But when I'm off the weed, I don't say shit. I don't say shit. I just keep it going, keep it moving. Keep it moving. But I lost shit doing that. Keeping it moving. Lost a lot of shit smoking weed. Lost my fucking staff, man. Lost a lot of shit. Wallets. Keeping it moving, you know? But definitely makes you irritated. Makes you a little, kind of make you mad. People feel reason, you know? I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with the ghouls playing on shit. Your demon. I don't know how that shit go, but you would be a little irritable. I know that was for me. Like, made me a little irritable, you know? Makes me super lazy, which I do believe. I mean, I really don't get much production off of smoking unless I'm making music and I ain't that fucking stoned. Other than that, I ain't making shit. If I'm too out of there, I ain't making shit. But if I just get enough, I'm making music. But it definitely kind of makes you lazy, and not want to do shit, procrastination. You have time to smoke, but you don't have time to do other shit. So that's definitely keeps something in mind. Makes you lazy. Memory loss. Definitely have memory loss smoking. It may not feel big at first, but your memory's gonna you're not gonna remember certain shit. You're just not. Like people names you're gonna forget that you should know, and you're not gonna know their name. And like you're gonna be like, fuck, you're gonna be things like as soon you could be doing something smoking, right? You'll be like, what the fuck? I just forgot that fast. Like, yeah, bro, the weed to do that. You'll be forgetting shit. You'll forget something. You'll forget where you put your keys. Like, bruh, that shit happen any time, man. I'll be watching people too. Saying about nobody, but I ain't gonna get them name because I'm just saying I just see somebody, right? And you be talking and he'll forget. I'm like, bro, nigga, I could tell you off the gas, nigga. Could you just forgot that fast? You forget that fast off the pack, bro. That's what I'm saying. That can fuck up your memory. Short attention span. It definitely gives you a short attention span. Most definitely do. Let's say you smoke some weed and you get into meditation. I know for me, I'm popping out of that meditation. Just because I'm high as shit. Short attention span, you be playing a game, want to switch the game. Another game. You do this, now you want to do that. It keeps switching and switching and switching and switching and switching. Like you'll be at work, you gotta do this, now you don't want to do it. You gotta go home, you got responsibility, you'll do it, next you go, you stop doing it. Your attention span on the weed, it does something. Fucks it up. Like, if you leave it alone, your attention span is gonna be strong. You start fucking with the weed. It's different for everybody, but this is my experience. Fucks up my attention span. Like, messes it up. Gives you ADHD, basically. I don't have ADHD, but when I smoke weed, it feels like I got it. Or ADD, whatever the fuck that is. Okay, another key point. I notice what weed does to me makes me want to eat food that ain't good for me, like junk food, like a lot of chicken, a lot of chips, candy, bullshit, maybe some moon pies, maybe some cakes. That's the gas for you. When you're sober, you always want to eat the stuff that actually does something to your body. But as soon as you get high, you get this big surge of hunger, and then you want to go eat the fucking world. You want to go to the store, buy 20 pieces of fried chicken and a large fry. And then you're like, why did I buy this shit after your stomach hurts? Then you smoke again. 17 hours later, you do the same shit. And then it's a fucking cycle. Then you're stuck in it. So you got to watch out for that. You got to watch out. You got to watch out. You don't want to just be eat anything. You are what you eat. Especially when you're high. Especially when you're high, guys. You can eat so much of it. You can eat so much of shit when you're high. Because you got to watch out. Negative suggestions from entities not seen. A lot of people don't know that. I know I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. I got to get this video up. But when you smoke, It opens up your aura to the point where negative energies around you can project their energy towards you. And if you are low, if you don't know what's going on, you can react to those energies. You know? Like, for instance, you smoke some gas, and next thing you know you got a wife, but you smoke some weed, now you want to go fuck a prostitute. You got a girlfriend, right? I'm just giving you an example. This ain't happening to me. Like, I ain't, yeah. This is giving you an example. You got the girlfriend, right? Smoke some weed, right? Negative entities say, man, you can go fuck that bitch. Even though you don't know the bitch. Fuck her raw. Negative suggestions from entities. Let's you know you got something. So you get what I'm getting at? Oh, you don't have to eat pork or beef, even though you don't eat that shit. The negative suggestions tell you to go do it. Now you got a problem with your stomach. Stuff like that. The entities of the gas which you did, you open yourself up in that way, they're gonna play on that shit. They're gonna tell you, oh, you can leave that job. Or like you can leave that job that was paying $3,000 an hour and just go waste your money on drugs. And then you realize you ain't got shit. Negative suggestion from entities not seen. You don't see those entities. But they're sending you negative suggestions. And then you have to be strong enough to know who you are so you don't act on them. And react from them, and keep making it bigger. I gotta know when to let go. You know? But that's negative suggestion. So you always gotta know who you are, know thyself. Holes in your aura. When you smoke, it opens up your aura to the point you get on the level of the person or the thing that you're around in a sense. Like, you know how you could be with somebody, you could be chilling, next thing you know, they put out the blood, and you're having a deep conversation. And yeah, basically we put you on their level. And then another thing is it puts holes in your aura. If you smoke too much, put holes in your aura. Yeah, people can suck the energy, like people can basically suck the energy out of you. You got holes in your aura. That's like easy. That sounds like you're more easier to attack too, because your aura is open. You know what I'm saying? Things can pop in that way too. So you don't want holes in your aura. You want to actually patch those holes up. You don't want to have holes in your auras. You know what I'm saying? Because people can suck your energy when they're around you. Like, you don't want to drink, but weed, don't smoke. They can't do that. That's literally cut off. So you have to, you know, smoke responsibly, I'd say. Just be smoking your brains out every second of the day. Because you're not going to get nowhere. Trust me, I have doing that and it didn't get me nowhere. So I'm pretty sure they're going to get you nowhere either. You know? But I'm going to pause the video real quick. I'm going to show you the Chris Krepsick article. Peace. 1 second. Hey guys. Okay, we're back at it. So I'm going to read you thehoodiedsage.com about the Reefer Revolution by Chris Krebs. I want to read this to you. Although the strangest phenomena that I have ever seen is sweeping the United States and is the decriminalization of legalization of marijuana. Reefer Revolution. Although cannabis is federally illegal, 17 states have legalized it for medical use. 19 states, 2 U.S. territories, and the District of Columbia have legalized it for recreational use. 12 additional states, and 1 other territory have decriminalized it. It's like the potheads are taking over the country. Hungary, or whatever the fuck, became the first country to legalize recreational use of cannabis in 2013, with Canada, Georgia, Malta, Mexico, South Africa, and Thailand following soon thereafter. Another 52 countries have decriminalized it for small amounts, or have regulations that simply go unenforced. So it's not just a phenomenon happening in the United States; it's happening globally. I don't necessarily think that marijuana should be illegal, because that's just one more freedom taken away from the people. And people should have the right to practice their own private freedoms as long as they aren't harming others. But when you see entire states decriminalizing and legalizing something on a large scale, you have a question what's really happening beneath the surface. And that's what people cannot see. Remember this. The system of programming and control seeks total control. While the pot smokers and stoners may think they are gaining new levels of freedom from the system, it's actually a biochemical, physiological, and psychological strategy in gaining more control over them by the system. It's nothing as it seems, and it's all ass backwards from what people see or think. The system wants people docile and stupefied. What better way to control, program, and manipulate society than to have them drugged up, docile, ready to accept extractions, ready to conform, submissive, and unable to feel, think properly for themselves? They want people medicated. Do you see? It's another step towards Aldous Huxley's prophetic novel, Brave New World, coming true. With the state distributing narcotics to society to create social harmony in order to gain psychological control over the population. Marijuana impairs your attention, cognition, coordination, and judgment. Marijuana causes depression, drowsiness, and fatigue, weakening your body and mind. It causes anxiety, high blood pressure, increased heart rate, and paranoia. It causes memory loss, and it can cause psychosis. Although the common argument is that marijuana can be used for medicinal purposes in treating conditions, its effects are short lived. It may be used to treat conditions, but it really doesn't heal anything. And it often makes conditions worse over long periods of time. I'll put that in there. Like, just like legal pharmaceuticals, the side effects of marijuana are often the same as symptoms that it was used to treat. Strange but true. So it can ease your anxiety, but it can give you anxiety. It can make you happy, but it could cause depression. It can mellow you out, but it can increase your blood pressure and heart rate. It can enhance your focus, but impair your attention. It enhances your concentration, but causes memory loss. It can make you peaceful, but it can make you psychotic. So true. Doesn't make sense. I've noticed people who claim to use marijuana for medicinal purposes are usually covering up the marijuana addiction. It's like an attempt to justify the drug abuse. You never really see them doing anything to try to change or heal their condition. They just want to get stoned, and their condition becomes their excuse to do so. It's true that marijuana is a natural plant medicine that has been used for thousands of years in healing and spiritual ceremonies of the ancient Celts, Chinese, Hindus, and, Scythians. I won't refute that. But this is an entirely different subject for another time. Recreational drug use or abuse in spiritual ceremonies are not the same thing. True. My point is, the system of control starts decriminalizing and legalizing things. It's because they're exploiting it for a darker agenda, of which is always about control, money, and power. I guarantee you that it's not about empowering people or granting them liberation. Far from it. It's about indoctrinating ideologies and submissiveness. On a deeper metaphysical level, I don't recommend using marijuana because it tears and weakens your etheric energy field, allowing the infiltration of dark etheric entities, dark fractal codes, and the thought forms and suggestions of others. That's where the anxiety and paranoia comes from. True. There are actually etheric entities and forces pushing on you, most of which come from other people. The reefer revolution is coming, and it's happening, and it's being decriminalized and legalized. But just because something is being decriminalized and legalized doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you or that you should do it. In fact, it probably means that it isn't good for you and that you shouldn't do it. It's all a psychological trick of the system. We don't need stoners. We need custodians of the light, perception, and warrior sages. Whatever you do, be careful, be good, and be safe. Always. Chris Krepsick, the Hooded Sage. Yo, you feel me? So that was just, a little rundown on what he felt and what he knows about it. Like y'all said, go read back how I read that. You feel me? I'm going to pause it so I can go back to the thing. Hold up. I told y'all, it's busting like that. You feel me? watch out. You feel me? Like, it opens up your aura, messes it up, and then of it being legal all around the world, that's how you know something up. That's how you know something up. They want you to be open in their energy field because that opens up your aura, opens up your mind. But if you close that gate, they can't get no access to you. So I want you to take all this information in mind about this marijuana, and I hope you make the decision to leave it all alone. But that's Sacred Truth with Jam Out. Peace. Oh yeah, another thing. If you smoke a lot of weed, you get CHS, which gives you abdominal pain, vomiting, and like, yeah, makes you like you get cramps and shit if you smoke too much. So just let you know, that's another reason why you shouldn't smoke. Feels like you got stomach ulcers, but no stomach ulcers. You don't want that. But that's Sacred Truth for Jam Out. Peace.